Hi, I'm Kate Engelman, and I'm from Stranded Beauty and Barber in Chicago, Illinois. I've been in the industry for a little over 10 years and working in Chicago for 9. My background is in complete finishing, haircutting, and I specialize in men's grooming as well. I think my favorite thing is, well, my clients, first of all, because they become family and they love you just as much as you love them, as well as the creative freedom that I have to be independent, do what I want on a daily basis, and not have somebody kind of close me into a box and tell me what I should and should not be doing on a daily basis. So I think in terms of like the newer things that are happening that I'm really loving are the more shag haircuts. So much more texture in our haircuts, giving more character to everything that we're doing instead of just having like that one simple way of doing things. You get to mix in so many different techniques in one haircut. So I initially found Hanzo at one of the hair shows and was introduced by a fellow educator. The thing that I like the most about it is the quality that you're getting, not only with the shears and not only with the steel, but also with the team that you get to work with. So they're replacing your shears so you never have to go without the things that you absolutely love. My biggest pet peeve is like sending in a shear and waiting 3 weeks to get something back, and then you have to completely reconfigure the way that you're doing things in the salon. My favorite shear is my 6-inch dry cutting shear, my absolute favorite. My favorite thing about this is you can go from a wet to a dry cut and not have to switch out your shear. When I was talking about, really loving that shag haircut and using your different techniques and things like that, you get to use one tool to do kind of everything. So that's my favorite thing about this one. The next is a texturizing blade here. You can see this one is about a medium grade texturizing shear. So I like this because this is going to give you medium debulking when you're using this as a texturizer, which is great for men's hair cutting when you're starting to work more on the top of the hair and just adding texture overall to any haircut. And then we have the finer blade texturizing shear here. I love this, especially for men's haircuts, blending the sides into the top. It's going to give you a little bit more in terms of taking out weight in the haircut. So you see that the teeth are a little bit closer. It's going to take out a little bit more hair as you're using it. And then here we have a thicker texturizing shear, and this is going to take out like the least amount of weight and just give you some really good texture and clean cut with that. So I like to use this a little bit more with my women's cuts, something a little bit longer to kind of just soften the ends of the cut. So now here I have a 6-inch blade, which is the HH8. This one's my favorite just working for a haircut in general. I use this a lot for texturizing and point cutting. I love that. It's got a nice fine tip that allows you to point cut really clean. Being able to learn from each other is like the biggest thing. I think my biggest pet peeve in the industry is stylists that sometimes get a little bit big-headed and think that they're above and beyond things, and we always have something to learn. Like, I learn something new every day, whether it's me making a mistake or figuring out something new that works really well, or somebody else in the salon. We exchange knowledge every single day. Being an educator myself, I've learned so much just from going in and talking with other stylists that I've never met. They'll challenge me with something and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never thought about that. That's amazing. And then you're learning something new from somebody, you've never met. And then you can bring it back to your stylists that work in your salon, and it just is kind of like the game of telephone, and everybody learns a little bit something from everybody. I think one of the things that we don't learn in hair school is just somewhat the business side of things, but also the consistency with what you need in terms of being a hairstylist. You have to be consistent, you have to be there for your clients, and you have to bend over backwards to keep some people, and it's really helpful to have somebody teach you how to do that, but to also do that within reason and still have time to like live for yourself and have a life outside of the salon. I think, sometimes when we get into this area where we're starting to get closer to like a 6-figure hairstylist, you start to almost lose yourself, and that's when that hairstylist burnout happens. And I think if I could have somebody mentor me to teach me how to bring myself away from that burnout sometimes, it's almost like you get to this point where you want to like quit and find something new to do. And if you just had somebody to be there to teach you and coach you some different ways to manage your business and retain clients and be consistent, I think it would really help. With a mentoring program too, a really great thing that could happen is stylists that are converting from a commission-based salon into booth rental. I know when I did it, I kind of did it blindly, and there was a lot of like speed bumps that I hit, and I didn't really know what to do with that. So kind of getting a good area where you go from like one part of your career to a new section, and like having somebody there to support you, to teach you kind of, you know, what scheduling system you should use, how to manage clients and manage your time efficiently. Hey, it was great hanging with you guys. I'm Kate Engelman from Stranded Beauty and Barber in Chicago, and I'll be a part of the Hanzo Nation for life.